Bob, talk about leadership. So the people watching this for the most part are building teams. Teams of financial educators, basically. And can you give some advice about leadership and what it takes to lead a team, build a team, and lead a team?
Well, I think that's the only way your industry works. Networking always works through teams. A lot of people think it's just selling stuff. It's not selling stuff at all. I see you're building an organization that stuff or services flow through. And if you want to win, you've got to be a leader. And a leader is somebody that other people want to follow. So you've got to be a damn good example yourself. You've got to do everything we're talking about. And if you don't, you're not going to be a leader. Hill talks about it. He says there's two types of people in the world. There's leaders and their followers. And if you want to be a good leader, you got to be a good follower. All great leaders were great followers first. I'm a good leader. I'm a great leader. I lead a lot of people. But I'm going to tell you something. I'm one heck of a good follower. I will follow the advice of people that demonstrate they know better than me. And I'll do it until I at least reach the same level as them. Yeah.
Interesting. That's great.
That's fascinating.
You've just got to make up your mind you're going to be the best example you can be, and then you've got to mentor the other people. You've got to mentor the strong ones in your group, and you're turning them into leaders. And I think mentorship is transferring awareness from your mind to their mind. You're forever helping them develop a greater awareness. It's not important that you win. It's only important you help them win. If you help enough of them win, they're going to make you win. There's no question about it. So I think if you're not a leader and you're in networking, you're always going to have a small income. If you want to have a great income in networking, you definitely have to become a strong leader. To do that, first you got to become a good follower. Really study the person that's leading you. I had the best leaders. Well, Bill Gove was one of them. Your partner, he was probably one of the best. I had Bill Gove, Earl Nightingale, Lloyd Conant, Leland Bell Van de Waal, Dr. Harry Roeder. I had some of the greatest leaders. I had a habit of picking people that were exceptionally good at what they did. And I did exactly what they told me. See, the good fortune to me was when I first met Ray Stanford. I was losing. I was a loser. And always had been. I was 26, never done anything. And he said, do exactly what I tell you until you find out I'm lying or I don't know what I'm talking about. Then he said, my way's working, yours isn't. Well, that made sense to me. And I thought, what the hell? I'm going to do that. And so I started to do exactly what he said. And I found out the guy never lied. And he didn't know what he was talking about. He always had money. I never had any. And that's what first got my attention. Now, I've got lots of money. I think earning money is the simplest thing in the world to earn when you know how. I guess it's like driving a car. If you don't know how, it's pretty difficult.
That's a good thing, Uncle Bob, since you're going to have to pay all the bills on that new house you're building.
All paid already.
Bob, you taught me so much, more than anyone, about making money and my lack of consciousness when it came to fear and scarcity when Steve first bought me the watch and we first started making money, and I would just listen to every word you said, and I really wanted to believe. And can you just share with our folks here a little bit about that mind-money connection and why so many people downplay it like I did? Luckily, I've matured with your help. But can you talk a little bit about the mind-money connection?
Yeah, listen. People that say money is not important are people that haven't got any. The people that have money know that money is very important. It's extremely important. It's the only medium of exchange that's completely negotiable all over the world. I think you should tell them a story about the watch to start with. Let's go from there.
No.
Yeah, he should definitely tell
That was a long time
I told
ago.
you he was going to make you tell the
That
story.
was a long
I warned
time
her,
ago.
Bob.
Tell the story.
I was really young. No, I was. This was probably, like, I don't know, Bob was probably 20 years ago, but it was my birthday, and Steve bought me a Rolex watch and was on his way to a speech. So I opened the present, and I was like, my first thought was, we can't afford this. And we clearly could afford it. I mean, it was $7,000. And my second thought was, okay, first, nobody needs a $7,000 watch.
I had a Timex, a $50 Timex, Uncle Bob. So, you know.
Well, you deserve a $50 Timex.
Well, thanks. Yeah, thanks for that.
So Steve was on the way to a speech, and I kept it in the box. I didn't even try it on, and he was so sweet. And he was like, you know, you can take it back. If you're really not comfortable, take it back. And I'm like, yeah, I can't keep it. You know what? I've got a $250, which I thought was a lot, you know, for $250. So it was the $7,000 anyways. Take Steve to the airport. I am in the parking lot of the jewelry store, and Uncle Bob calls.
Uh-oh.
And I'm like, hey, Bob. And he's like, Dawn, because he talks in that voice of God, what are you doing? I go, well, Bob, I'm in this situation. And I told him the whole story, and in just such a loving way. That day changed my life. I look at this watch now like he looks at his the gold card, and it represents my success and the willingness to help other people succeed. And it wasn't the money, it was me being able to move past my scarcity thinking that we weren't going to make more, or that this was too much, it was too expensive, and I deserve it. And so now every time I wear this watch, I think of the success we've had and how grateful I am. And I just follow Bob's success tips. And I was going to take it back. And then I talked to Bob Proctor, and I'm so happy and thankful and blessed that we had that quick conversation in the parking lot of the jewelry store.
You know, I think you said something that is a key to it, Don. You said, I deserve it. Right. You see, I think some people think they don't deserve good things. They're God's highest form of creation. And they have the gall to think they don't deserve good things. You know, Jesus wore a seamless robe. That was the most expensive robe of his day. That wasn't like a tailor-made suit. It was beyond that. We've got to have a very high opinion of ourselves. And we've got to treat ourselves really well. I'm always very good to me. You cannot be good to somebody else if you're not good to yourself. And you've got to realize you deserve the best. Now, I'm not talking about being wasteful and being ridiculous. I'm talking about having a healthy, conscious awareness. And if you want something and you would enjoy it, you should have it. I'm sitting in a beautiful studio. This is actually a television station that I'm sitting in. I built this place 4 years ago. It cost us well over $1 million. And somebody said, how old are you? I said, what's that got to do with it? You see, they couldn't see me doing something like this. I was 84 or something like that. And I thought, well, they must think I should just sit and do nothing till I die. Well, then last year we decided to rebuild our house. We could have bought another one, but what the hell? The studio's in the backyard. I'm 50 feet from my house. So now we got a couple of $1 million sunk in a house. Now I'm 87 years old. I will enjoy the house. I love the studio. I broadcast all over the world from here. So as you get greater good things, you can do greater good with them. And that's all it's about. It's just about serving. And I think your goals yourself should be very high. I think they should be beyond your reach. If you know how to reach your goal isn't big enough. You've got to set goals you don't know how to reach. And that's going to cause you to stretch, to go higher than you've ever been. If you already know how to get there, you're going sideways. There's no growth.
That's great.
You've got a phenomenal opportunity in this company that you're a part of to set big goals, and you've got great leaders. I'm going to tell you. I've watched people that work with Steve and Don. I've watched them change their lives. I've watched people that were broke. Today they're worth a few $1 million. And they're doing exactly what I did with Ray Stanford. Do exactly what they tell you. Until you find out they're lying or they don't know what they're talking about. They're wealthy people. They've got a very successful business. They got a great reputation. It only makes good sense. Do exactly what they say. That's how you win. Okay?
I appreciate that, Bob.
Well, you know, Bob, we're building our business in the world's biggest industry, financial services, and we're so fortunate in many ways that it seems like everything is conspiring for us. There's the way the world has evolved, the way the stock market, the economy, the people's incomes, all these things, and most importantly, these schools, even in Canada, still don't teach people how money works. And so we get a chance to be that place of education and knowledge to bring them forward and then introduce them to products and services that can take them to where they need to go financially. Talk about that for a second and how you see that as our best thing.
I could talk about that for days. Listen, you can go to any educational system anywhere in the world. They do not teach you how to earn money. You could take somebody graduating from the most prestigious universities in the world with a doctorate's degree in commerce and finance, and they could be broke. It's the most insane concept. How do we expect teachers to teach us how to earn money? They have never learned how to earn it. 80% of the people that are teaching have never done what they're teaching. Well, money, you earn money. You don't make it. The only people that make it are either in the jail or in the mint, or on the way to jail, one or the other. Everybody else earns money. Do you know, that's an interesting point you bring up, Tom. I was doing a seminar in Phoenix here, it was a couple of years ago now, I guess. And there's a doctor there that I know. I don't know him well, but I know him. And he was telling me he was going to leave the profession. And I said, why are you going to do that? Well, he said, the medical profession's all messed up. He said, you can't earn any money in it today. And I said, well, that's true. But I said, why did you become a doctor? Well, I said, he said, I love it. I said, what the hell do you want to quit for? I said, you know what your problem is? You think you go to work to earn money. That's a myth. You don't go to work to earn money. Working is the worst way to earn money. You go to work for satisfaction. I learned that really well on a visit that I made to the Earl Nightingale in Chicago in 1966. I'd been studying his material since 61. And I got an hour visit with him. And I was leaving his office and I said, Earl, what's the big deal? Well, he said, there isn't any big deal, Bob. He said, it's simply a matter of sitting down, decide what you love to do, and then dedicate your life to it. He said, the problem with most people is they don't know what they love to do. Well, I'm going to tell you, I got so excited right at that moment because I knew exactly what I'd love to do. I'd love to do what he was doing, and I would made up my mind I was going to do it with him. And 2 years later, I was his vice president of sales. I left a business where I was earning over $1 million a year, and I took a job for $18,000 a year. But I was doing what I loved to do. 5 years later, I was only earning $33,000. But I've earned millions since I left there. I got an education there. Earning money is, you can earn more money when you're sleeping than you can spend when you're awake, for goodness sake. You provide service to earn money. You go to work to get satisfaction. It's like Earl said, find what you love to do and dedicate your life to it. Now, odds are pretty good that you could love to do this if you really learn how to do it well. And then you get a ton of satisfaction in what you do, and you earn a lot of money too. See, in my business, you and I are in much the same business. We're just approaching it from a different angle. And you go to work and you do what you love, you get tremendous satisfaction. I mean, that's what keeps me going. It's the satisfaction I get from what I do. But the money you earn is from the service that you render. Learning how to work with money, how to earn money, what to do with it, provides a greater service everywhere in the world today than anything else you can think of. Because there's only 3 or 4% of the population that really understand how to earn money. Most people never learn how to, they think they go to work. It's the worst idea in the world, but they teach you that in school. Doctors earn good money. Well, I know doctors that don't earn good money. Lawyers good. I know lawyers that are broke. Listen, earn good money when you provide great service and you get better at it. This, what you're doing, Tom, you're providing one of the greatest services in the world. I have worked all over the world, and almost everywhere I've gone, I see people that want to do things, but they can't afford it. You should be able to afford to do everything you want to do. Life is very short. It can be a magnificent trip, but it's going to cost you. There's a Spanish distiller one time said, the good life's expensive. There's another way to live that doesn't cost as much, but he said it isn't any good.
So, Bob, when you're talking about money, can you give us some ideas of how people can upgrade their thinking and their consciousness when it comes to limited beliefs about money?
Well, I think there's only one way to do it, and that's through education. I don't think there is any other way. You've got to learn how to earn it. I don't think there's any other way. And if you want to learn something, you go to somebody that really understands. Now, I don't know you, Tom. I've just met you, but I do know Steve and Don, and I know one thing: they both know how to earn a lot of money.
Right.
They've earned a lot of money. They've earned millions of dollars, so they're very good at it. So you go to people that understand. I went to Ray Stanford. He really understood. Then I went to Earl Nightingale, and Lloyd Conant, and Bill Gove. I went to people that were the best at what they did. And I did exactly what they told me. Get a good book on money. Strange part, study Napoleon Hill's book. He doesn't talk much about money. It's an inside thing. You've got to alter your consciousness. And if you're working with a shallow consciousness, you're going to have low income. As you raise your consciousness, you're going to raise your income. You got to know what you're worth. And you shouldn't apologize for it. I charge a lot of money if you want to work with me, and I don't make any apology. And if you sign up to work with me, there's no refund. If you do what I tell you, I know you're going to win. And if you don't, I'll fire you. It's that simple. I have a no refund clause. I don't apologize for it. I brag about it because I want people to know if they come here, they're making a decision that's going to change their life. And if they don't win, it's not my fault. It's their fault. They're not doing what I tell them.
That's good.
Makes sense. You know, Bob, I don't know how many times I've fielded questions about you all over the world for 25 years, and Donna has too, about, they say, oh, Bob talks about money all the time. He's so into money. And I always tell him, I always say, Bob doesn't care about money at all. I said, I've known Bob for 20-something years, and he talks about earning money and the mindset of money, but you never talk about buying stuff or anything. You're not a big spending guy. I've never, you lived in the same house for what?
Except
Well, the plane. Well, he likes to travel. He likes his creature comfort.
Everyone should have a plane.
He likes his plane. Yeah. But you're not a big spender.
I'm going to tell you, I believe that you should have whatever you want that will make your life more comfortable. I spend almost all my time working because I can't think of anything else that I enjoy more than working. Right. I love what I do. That's why I built the studio right in my backyard. I'm 50 feet away from my bed. I love working. I love helping people wake up. But I like treating me well. I stay in good hotels. I fly in a private plane. I drive a beautiful car. I wear the best clothes you can buy. But outside of that, I give almost everything I earn away. I build schools in Africa. Every 2 weeks, I build a new school. I have a business partner, Sandy Gallagher, and she's adopted my way of thinking and giving. We give a lot of money away every week. And you do what you want with it. Money's not going to make you a better person. It's going to make you more responsible, probably, and make you more comfortable, but it's not going to make you a better person. And if you see people that, hold on to money tight, they don't really enjoy it. I wrote in a book, You Were Born Rich, and everybody was born rich. Understand that. They're probably just a little short of money, but they're rich in resources.
That's true.
And you should love people and use money. And if you ever get that equation reversed and you start loving money and using people, you're in heavy trouble.